So I'm going to tell you about something really, really cool about the human body. And most people don't consider the human body, which is really sad, actually. If you think about it, most people don't actually value their bodies. I read a really interesting quote a while back. I think it was from Napoleon Hill. I don't remember. But he said something to the effect of, isn't it interesting how we value our technology more than we do our own bodies? That people, when they drop their phone, their heart skips a beat and they're worried that their phone screen is going to crack. But they'll, at the same time, they'll get on a motorcycle and they won't wear a helmet. Isn't that bizarre? Isn't that bizarre that the thing that we take for granted, which is the most important thing that we have to carry this consciousness itself, is it the thing that we value some of the most? And I think a lot of the times that people don't value this body that we reside in is because they don't know truly how special it is. Truly how special the human body is. When they realize that the human body is full of incredible secrets, they would start treating it as if it was the most precious thing in the world. It really is the temple of the spirit. It is how we interface with all of potentiality itself, just through this silly little sack of flesh and bones. It's remarkable. And there are so many keys in the human body that if we're aware of these things and we unlock these things in our body, we can be so much more effective communicators. We can be so much more effective leaders. We can be so much more effective lovers. We can discern so much better. We can know who to spend time with. We can know who to talk to. We can know how to talk. And we can know how to align with grace, with ease, with fun. So the esoteric sciences, there's a lot of esoteric sciences. One of the most well-known ones has to do with yoga and with the chakra systems. According to traditional chakra systems, we have 7 chakras, which are basically a fractalization of light. You know, you have your crown, you have your third eye, you have your throat, all the way down, right? But a lesser known system of understanding energy in the body is something called Dantians. Okay, this is Chinese for energy centers. Then we have 3 Dantians. We have our lower Dantian, which is called in Japanese your hara. You have your middle Dantian, which is your heart, and then you have your upper Dantian. Okay, and each one of these centers is like a brain. Now let's step away from the woo-woo for a second, okay? Because to a lot of people that sounds very woo-woo. But this is really actually neurochemical, physiological truth and reality that science has studied for a long period of time. Your brain has its own intelligence itself. Whenever you see an attractive person, your heart starts beating, right? Or whenever you're thinking about a really tough problem, you're not asking your heart like, "Hey heart, can you solve this hard math problem?" You know? But or when you get a gut feeling about somebody, when you feel like, I don't really know if I trust that person, or hey, yeah, I really like that person. I really resonate with that person. What's actually going on is there are different mechanisms of reality interpretation that are in the gigantic supercomputer of your body. And that by mastering and by understanding how these different lenses of perspectives work in your body, then you can learn how to use which tools when. What the West, and I would even say most of the world, has taught is to solve all of your problems with your noggin, which is a terrible idea. Because what then happens is that people get into emotional relationships and they just browbeat each other with logic. Or, they want to rationalize their decisions to staying with a partner when they know that their gut says, don't do that. Or they try to convince themselves logically that, well, maybe this is the best business decision that I should do. But your gut's like, nah, bro, shouldn't do that. That's because our bodies have certain intelligences, but we don't know how to recognize and understand those intelligences. Now, there's a reason why they say that love makes us do stupid things. What's really interesting is that the way in which your heart is connected to your body is that it actually bypasses the logical brain. So the love doesn't actually make you do stupid things, it makes you just do illogical things. There's a difference between stupidity and illogical things. And so your gut can only really give you strong discernment, and that's a key word in life is discernment. How do we have discernment? Well, we pay attention to our gut. You can only have discernment, very strong discernment, if you have a healthy gut biome. If the bacteria in your body is happy, if you're taking care of your body so that you're purging your physical vessel, so it's not filled up with food so that you're sluggish and can't pay attention, but you're alert and you're sober and you're ready and you're present with your body. And by attuning deeper into whatever tool that you're looking to use, you will be able to have a lot more grace and ease in your life. Because the way in which we approach the world is like looking at everything as a nail and using a screwdriver. Yeah, maybe you can nail something into the screwdriver, it'd be very difficult. So by attuning to the certain situations that you're going through, you can then learn which tools that your supercomputer body has to be able to use when you're in an emotional situation, by being deep and present in your heart, by being understanding, by being still in your mind, and by receiving the depth of the love or the depth of the pain or the depth of the grief and witnessing and recognizing and being so deep with it, you can come to a deeper state of compassion, a deeper state of understanding, a deeper state of transcendence, a deeper state of being able to make wiser decisions for your family, for your business, and for yourself. Simultaneously, if we're using our brain to make gut-based decisions, we're just going to try to rationalize our reasoning away rather than really looking at the reality of the situation. The fact is that we have it all backwards. We should be leading with our hearts, then our guts, then our brain. And yet, what most of us do is we 95% of the time lead with our heads, 5% of our time lead with our guts, and completely ignore the intelligence of the heart. And so, by understanding which tool to use first, we can align our bodies and our minds with the most graceful process of being in the world. Generally, what I recommend is staying in the heart. Because staying in the heart literally gets us out of our minds. It gets us out of our amygdalas. It gets us out of our overthinking emotional processing that is playing this incessant script of thinking and thinking and thinking and worrying and worrying and worrying. And if we're out of our brains and present in our hearts, we don't think anymore. There is no thoughts. It is just being present. And when we're in our hearts, something shifts in the way in which we approach the world, where we can just see everything as it is and not judge it like we're in our brains, like, oh, that person. But we're just with it, witnessing it without judging it, feeling its character, feeling its essence, feeling into if it's the thing or the person or the place that we really need to go towards. Then we tap in with our gut. Hey, gut, that person feels good. Is that a person that I should interface with? Then the gut biome goes, let me check. Yeah, go for it. Because the gut biome actually is a completely interesting science in and of itself. Did you know that when you have a partner, a long-term partner, and when you share your saliva with them and you share your bodily fluids with them, eventually the gut biome, the bacteria you have in your body, becomes the same bacteria as them? It's because you're sharing the same gut biome. There's a cohesiveness. It actually is making you healthier. It's sort of like this extension of your immune system. It's really interesting. So your gut biome has an incredible intelligence that is kind of mysterious in a way. I would recommend looking into something called mirror neurons, which are really interesting. Mirror neurons are literally your body, your gut biome interfacing with other things and energetically registering their energetic imprint. And so this is why they say when you go to a networking event or something and you're around people that embody the people that you want to be, you quite literally step into their energetic field and embrace and attain a change in your energetic makeup because your mirror neurons are copying a different field of potentiality that you emulate yourself. Interesting, yeah? So your environment literally shapes the way in which your gut biome interacts with you. And your gut biome, of course, wants to keep itself safe. So it's going to reject things that make it sick. It's going to be averse to things that make it not healthy. It wants to continue to keep you alive because it likes to be alive itself. And so all of these things in your body, all of these tools are powerful, special, mystical, magical tools that we have in our body that we completely deny because we don't know what's going on. Because we haven't tapped in and said, hey, what the hell is this thing that I have? What is this body that I have and what does it do? If I put food in it, I feel full and I'm happy. It's like, no, bro. This is a whole universe that you're walking in. It's a supercomputer. And so by deepening in your knowledge of the tools that your body has been given to you by the grace of God, you can live so much easier in your life. But the problem becomes when we stop using the tool that we feel most comfortable with, which is typically this. The switch is uncomfortable because it's new. Playing any new instrument feels uncomfortable. If you play the guitar for the first time, it hurts your fingers. You're not used to it. But it takes time to get used to the tools that we've already had here, but haven't chosen to allow them to come online. And when you learn how to do this, this is another secret weapon that most people are not actively using in their life. That when you do this, you'll be a magician. And I want you to be a magician because life without magic is not so much fun.